Why is everybody so exhausted? That's one of the questions on my mind today as we're starting this week. I mean, in many cases, businesses aren't traveling. There's no big conferences, trade shows, right? So the commute time is cut back because people are working from their home in a lot of cases, or not going to the office as much as they were. And yet people seem to be more mentally and physically exhausted than ever. And gosh, it's only February 15th right now on the day that I'm recording this video. And people came into the year really energized, really jazzed up about how 2021 was going to be a very different year than 2020. And yet here we are, just 6 weeks into the year, and people are not only as exhausted as they were at the end of 2020, but even more so. They've depleted their surge capacity and then some. And why is that? And this isn't just frontline employees. I'm talking about leaders, senior leaders, executives in organizations are saying the same thing to us, which is we believe we're a high performance culture, but we just need more balance. We believe we're a high performance culture, but our people are working harder than ever. And the data suggests the latter, which is people are in fact working more than ever. They're working 4 more hours a day than ever. And so you wonder, why are people more exhausted and tapped out? One is they're getting online earlier and they're staying online later. And there's no escape when you're working at home because you still have kids at home, or you've got multiple spouses or partners at home. And so the day is just rolling. I mean, it's more and more we're hearing 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, people are forgetting to eat. They're not getting up and walking around. They're not exercising. They're not drinking water. It's like they're just mentally zapped. Oh, by the way, by the time it's noon or 1 o'clock, they've already had 10 Zoom meetings, and it's physically and mentally exhausting to just stay laser focused on Zoom meetings all day. A much different level of intensity than there is when you have your normal in-person meetings, when there's breaks in between the meetings, or when you're driving from one meeting to the next, or you've got just a little downtime to breathe. So it should be no surprise that if we're operating the same way that we were operating before, just working faster and jamming in more meetings than before, it should be no surprise to anybody that people are as exhausted as they are. And so as a leader, my roll call charge to you is, do you know what high performance really looks like? Are you infusing self-care, exercise, sleep, eating, balance, breaks during the course of the day in your high performance equation? It's not just about output. Many paces that leaders are running at, they're just not sustainable. And so I ask you to rethink and unlearn, as our man Adam Grant would say, rethink and unlearn what high performance means to you. And in fact, in my latest book, Thrive, The Leader's Guide to Building a High Performance Culture, we talk all about this, really unpacking and defining what we mean when we say success. And at the micro level, I'm even talking about, do you know what a winning week looks like? Have you really thought about it? Or are you just cranking through meeting after meeting after meeting, task after task after task? It's just not productive. You got to back up, zoom out, and really think about what a winning week would look like. And then back up one step even further and say, what does winning look like today? What are the outcomes I need to produce? What are the relationships I need to deepen? How would I know if I were really having impact? And it's not just about revenue you put on the board. It's not just about expenses that you strip out. It's really about making sure that you're clear on the value that needs to be created and captured in your organization. When you start there, then you can recalibrate the way that you plan your day. Then you can recalibrate the way that you plan your week. And it can be stuff as simple as you don't hold any meetings before 8 a.m. You give yourself a 10 to 15 minute buffer in between every single meeting. You schedule in some better you time during the course of the day. When you do a quick workout, it's never been easier with apps like Peloton, just as an example, where there's literally hundreds, if not thousands of classes, 10, 15, 20, 30-minute classes that you can absolutely infuse in the course of your day to give you a boost of energy, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You've got to rethink and unlearn what it means to be high performing. Then and only then can you break this way that you're feeling of being just physically, mentally, and emotionally tapped out. For more on how you can build a high performance culture, go to thrive.shiftthework.com. If you haven't picked up a copy of my book, Thrive, do so. It's a bestseller for a reason. You'll get immediate value out of this, and go to that website because you'll also be able to listen to podcasts, articles, and download additional accelerators that'll give you just a different way to think about what high performance looks like. Get after it. The world needs you.